The contentious connection between the Gupta family and the African National Congress, ANC, is described in Mathews Phosa's incendiary new book, Witness to Power, which was published today. It provides a personal account of the family's efforts to influence the party and government. Before we continue, please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell so as to get all our updates. The circumstances surrounding the ANC's financial transactions and the Guptas' purported efforts to get preferential treatment and influence political outcomes are clarified in the book. Ajay, Atul, and Rajesh, Tony Gupta were the first people Phosa met in 2008, just after Jacob Zuma was elected president of the ANC. Phosa was introduced to the family at their opulent Saxonwold estate by Zuma, a former Umkhonto Wesuswe leader during Phosa's exile in Mozambique. The ANC's urgent financial requirements swiftly took center stage at the discussion, which was supposed to be about political strategy. Phosa describes the exchange. It was well known that the party was having significant financial difficulties and that we would need a lot of help to turn things around before to the 2009 elections. Elections are expensive affairs, and cash flow was an issue, just as in every other election. The Gupta family portrayed themselves as an affluent and powerful Indian business family with a large network of connections in that nation. Possessing ties to influential Indian corporations such as the Reliance Group, the Guptas put up a number of plans. Citing the need to shield Zuma from any controversies, Phosa adamantly refused their offer to arrange meetings with possible funders in a number of nations, including India. We had a responsibility to shield Zuma from any such humiliation while we were engaged in a convoluted and delicate political process to remove him from the Shabir Sheikh issue. The ANC's and Zuma's grief would only grow if it was out that we were being flown around the globe for free. I told them that with firmness, Phosa writes. Phosa grudgingly accepted Tony Gupta's suggestion to create an offshore bank account for the ANC in Dubai, despite his objections, which raised further concerns. After traveling to Dubai with Tony Gupta to set up the account, a troubling proposal was made. Tony Gupta reportedly proposed at dinner that any money put into the account be divided 3 ways, 1/3 going to Zuma, 1/3 to the Guptas, and 1/3 to the ANC. Because he was worried about the possible harm to Zuma, the ANC, and others, Phosa strongly opposed this idea. There was more to the Guptas' efforts to sway the ANC. They further demonstrated their desire to dominate the party's narrative and financial resources with a later effort to withdraw Phosa's signature power from the Dubai account and a later plan to start a pro-ANC journal. Phosa was adamantly against the government's use of ads to support the planned newspaper, which finally changed its name to The New Age. In essence, their plan called for the state to pay for 47% of the projected publication, mostly via government ads, he says. I raised concerns about the business plan and emphasized how improper it was to use public funds in this manner. In his testimony, Phosa recounts a startling incident that happened in 2010. But we have already made a contribution, Tony Gupta said during a discussion with the family over their alleged lack of support for the ANC. We gave Baba 20 million rands. Jacob Zuma was mentioned. In response, Phosa said, I told him I didn't know about the contribution, but it made me very uncomfortable. This episode and other disclosures in the book demonstrate the Guptas' extensive influence inside the ANC's inner ring and their readiness to use money to sway political outcomes. The fact that Brian Molefe, the Public Investment Corporation's CEO at the time, attended the first meeting with the Guptas is also mentioned in the biography. Phosa points out that Molefe was acquainted with the family and the property, a fact that became even more significant once the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into allegations of state capture revealed that Molefe had accepted bribes from the Guptas. Phosa became the object of vilification and condemnation in family-controlled magazines like ANN7 and The New Age because he refused to take part in the Guptas' initiatives. Despite this, Phosa highlights the terrible effects of the Guptas' activities on the people of South Africa and expresses satisfaction at having escaped their grip. Millions of people have been further disadvantaged by the money siphoned to the Guptas and others, he says. Witness to Power, which offers an engaging first-hand account of the Guptas' power and the efforts to fight it, is expected to be a significant addition to our knowledge of the state capture period in South Africa.